There is a land hidden between Rome and Tuscany where everything is very reasonably priced, but history, tradition, people, really people, are fantastic.
Via, pronti. E questo è un inno al vino.
You can easily buy for what you can get, maybe a garage in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles, a little piece of paradise with fireplace and with a garden. A lovely place where you grow older or you send your friends and family. Please check us out. It's a special evening tonight. I'm very happy. I have a bunch of friends with me, and let's get into it right away. So tonight we are gonna be presenting real estate opportunity in a lovely small village almost to Tuscany, in Tuscany. It's called Proceno. Let me let the images present itself. It's a little place. It's all around the castle, and it's maybe it's the house of 500 people, something like that. And as you can see, the video is a little funny. It's a vertical video, but you're gonna see the castle. Yeah, it's coming. Actually, a friend of mine owns the castle, and I was having dinner the other night there. That's where I met one of my guests for tonight. So this is the Proceno Castle, and the video is already over, but it's very, very, very cute, very lovely. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let me bring in the first guest of tonight, my good friend Roy. He will be telling us some about Proceno. Roy, good evening. How are you?
I'm great. Nice to see you again.
It's always great to see you. So you are becoming a little bit of an expert of Tuscia, right?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I love Tuscia, and I'm very interested in it. The history here is fantastic. So it's great.
I love the way you think. This is great. So can you tell us something about Viterbo and Proceno and the area we're talking about tonight?
I can. Well, first of all, in Viterbo, we have 60 municipalities, community. The one we're talking about tonight is number 59 in population. They have 542 people. Our village, Villa San Giovanni in Tuscia, is the smallest village. It's only 5 square kilometers. So we range from the small population up to Viterbo, which is about 70,000 people. So that's a wide range of communities here, and all of them are interesting and beautiful. All 60 of them. There's not a single one you go, I wouldn't want to go there. So the one we're talking about tonight, when my son was here in Proceno a year and a half ago, as you remember, we went to the village, and it's just a spectacular small village. It's spectacular, the castle, and and really a deep part of Etruscan history. One thing I wanted to mention is, Tuscia, our area. The reason it's called Tuscia is because the Etruscans weren't called Etruscans by the Romans; they were Tusci.
Tusci, that's right.
And that's why we have Tuscia, the land of the Tusci. So,
and Proceno is right in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, that's what.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say, last time we talked, I was heading off to Sicily with my wife and daughter, and we had a great trip. Just great, So
Yeah,
completely nothing like Tuscia.
That's
Sicily,
another side of living in Italy, right? You can go fantastic place.
Really, it's not. You're really not living in Italy. You're living in Sicily. But would I like to live in Sicily? No. I'll stay right
great
here.
to visit, right?
I'll stay right here in Tuscia. So
very good. Okay, Roy. So tonight we have a special guest. He's basically a testimonial, I guess. He is not from Italy. he came to Tuscia, he got into it, eventually bought in Proceno, and now he has land and a house and a life in Proceno. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my sincere pleasure to introduce my latest friend. His name is Theo. He comes from the Netherlands. Theo, good evening. How are you?
Thank you, Giulio. It's good to see you again since Friday when we first met, and I'm okay. I just told you about the things that were happening here inside our house, but I'm not going to repeat that in this show. So no, it's okay. We're very happy to be here. We moved to here just about 1 month ago. We bought the place 5 years ago, exactly 5 years ago to say, November 19th. We just moved here to stay here permanently. So we got all our stuff in a big van and moved it to here, along with our 2 horses, which I don't ride myself, but my lovely wife does. And we're just settling in to grow in the community here. So that's why we liked it to meet you last Friday in the nice company of the nice lady of the castle of Proceno, which we dare say it's a good friend in these
Definitely.
5 years.
Definitely.
So yeah.
Theo, just a first question for you. Why Tuscia? You could have gone everywhere.
To be honest, it's not because we pinpointed the place and said we want to be there. It's in a way by accident, because we were looking for a nice place to live permanently. So we were very specific with our demands, and we traveled over Italy. We also went to Sicily. We went everywhere, but we always ended up here in the Nearing. But it was mostly Tuscany we stayed. But by just incident, we came here, and we immediately kind of fell in love with the place, especially Proceno, which is a very, very nice little town, as Roy already mentioned. So we felt comfortable here, and we decided to buy a place and stay here. So that's the history of coming to here, but it wasn't a very specific choice to go to Tuscia. But now, and especially when we met you last Friday, for us, Tuscia is getting more important. We're going to understand more about the history and what goes along with that.
So Theo, I think your story is even better. So you didn't know about Tuscia. You didn't have to come here for whatever relative or whatever. He has a magnetic ability, and he got you guys. This is fantastic. It's a great story.
Yeah, and let me say that our lovely friend Cecilia Pucci, as she is called here, is very important. That she embraced us like we were her kids in a way. And she's always very kind, and she made us feel happy and comfortable here in the area. So that is also a very
big fact.
And we met more people who are very how shall I put it? Give us a good feeling here about the people. The people are very nice and make you feel at home.
So, Theo, did you know that the family of Giovanni, the husband, owned the place for centuries?
Yes, one of the first times we met her, she told us that the castle is in the family since, I think, Eugene, 1100?
Yeah, well, the castle was built in 1200, but
Okay.
it is in their family since the 1600. By the way,
Okay.
Roy, how do you say in English Conti? They are Conti. Do you know?
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know. Count, maybe? Is there a royalty count?
Yes, I mean count. It's
Yeah.
of course
So they are
being,
the count and
being
the
American,
countess
being
of the
American, we
park.
don't have any of those, but in England they have counts. It's a
Counts.
middle of the pack of royalty.
Yeah.
Okay, so Roy and Theo, let me bring in Walt. Walt is our professional. He works with my friend Raffaele in FRIM. FRIM is this organization that helps out people that want to move to Tuscia. So let me bring in Walt. Walt, good evening. How are you?
Very well, thank you, gentlemen. Good to see everybody. Julia, always a pleasure to see you. How is everybody?
Everything is good, and I have to say, I was very lucky. Friday, I went to have dinner as a guest in a castle. I was treated like a prince, and I find next to me these two guys, Theo and his lovely wife, and we start talking. And all of a sudden, I realized these are the people they were looking for, right, Walt? Walt? Oh, he's frozen. No, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes,
Okay,
I'm
so
having a
my question for you.
slight connection problem right now.
Oh, so well, if you get out, just do what you did, get out and go come in back. I was gonna
Yes,
say
yes.
these are the people we're looking for, right? Somebody that wants to find a home and maybe living next to a castle, maybe living only 90K from an international airport in Perugia and so forth. Of course, it costs a little bit, but way less than what could cost in the US or in the UK or whatever to own land and with horses and houses and so forth. What do you think, Walt?
I agree. You know, since we've begun this series, you have introduced me to towns in the Tuscia area that I did not know. Where Roy lives, for example, is a charming little town. Proceno that we're talking about tonight was actually, I was doing a little research here, was founded by Porsenna in the sixth
Porcena.
century, sixth century before Christ. Now we're talking about shortly after the Trojan War, when Aeneas, with his father Anchises and his son, came to Rome. It didn't even have a name then. It was the Seven Hills. They went looking for the Seven Hills, which was just a trading camp on the salt route between the Europe and Africa and other points. So we're talking about a long time ago. And this is a fascinating thing about it, the Etruscan territory, Tuscia in particular. The Etruscan territory goes from just north of Rome all the way up to Bologna was actually an Etruscan city, but the heart of the Etruscan Empire was Tuscia. And Proceno, being on the boundary between Latium and Toscana, is a case in point. Although population, of course, has declined in recent years, nevertheless, it retains not only the medieval structure that it has, the castle and so forth, but indeed the ancient, very ancient. I mean, we're talking 3,000 years ago. That's a long time ago.
So one thing I'm always fascinated. From one side, people don't want to live there, but from the other side, it's very good for us, right? As I always say, with what you can buy a garage in Los Angeles, I can literally buy a little castle. Not kidding, not kidding.
You know, we live where people vacation, so we're lucky.
That's right. That's right. So, Roy, do you know of Civitella Cesi, close by to Villa San Giovanni? There is a castle, and it was for sale for $100,000. Did you know that?
No.
It's a freaking castle. No kidding.
You know, I'm not interested in the castle because I have to maintain it. But you know, in our village, in this area, you can buy things in the tens of thousands of dollars, not the hundreds of thousands or euros. I'm sorry. And one of the reasons Walt mentioned, tourism. This is not a highly tourist area. It's not that well known. It's not like Tuscany, where everybody's read the books and seen the movies, and so property in Tuscany is much more expensive than here, double in most cases.
Even more.
Julia, if I may jump in here,
Sure.
Roy mentioned tens of thousands of euros. Just for our American listeners, the euro is more or less at parity. So 10,000 euros, more or less 10,000 bucks. Okay, not exactly, but close enough for your off the cuff calculations.
Sure. So, Theo, one question for you. What's the plan? Do you intend to bring people from all over the world next to your place?
Sorry, I didn't hear you
So,
quite good. Sorry, the
so you
connection
you are
wasn't
gonna
good.
live there in Proceno,
Yeah.
but what's the plan? Is there a plan? Are you planning something? Do you want to do something in this land?
Yeah, we originally thought it would be nice because we have the horses, and tomorrow we're going to fetch our new dog. Actually, a Maremma, the dog from here in the nearing.
Maremmano.
Maremma,
Maremmano.
no, see, the nice shepherd dog, Italian, and we were first to get, because we officially we're pensionados, we retired, but I told you Friday that I'm thinking about doing things in my profession, which is project development, and but at first we want to develop our own territory. We already have an olive yard, but with small trees. We planted 5 years ago, and we want to make a vineyard in short term. I think next year. But as we stay here, I want to do different things which are more in line of my work I did in the past. And that's what I told you. I don't know
And we
what.
are evaluating something close to the lake, right?
I think Roy said about something about the tourists here and the prices in the difference. Well, that's what I told you on Friday, Giulio. In Tuscany, everything is very expensive, and here it's still very affordable. I think we have an opportunity here, especially around Lake Bolseno, to get more people here. The surroundings are beautiful, and it's quiet, and it's good, reachable, because you're only, well, about 100 kilometers from Rome.
And
So
Fiumicino.
that's not a problem. That can't be a problem. But I told you, for Dutch people, for Belgian people, for German people, Tuscany is the limit. Let's say Florence, maybe Siena, but then it's over. And we are here just a little further. And I know in the south, people also go to the south, but there's a lot. I think a lot to be done here to improve the touristic attractiveness of the area.
Walter, I wanted to actually ask you, it is your professional opinion that there is margin to develop something here?
Look, certainly, Theo is right. Tuscany is the big name. You know, when you go outside of Rome, Tuscany, everybody knows Tuscany. For 20 years now, it's been, Americans have been flocking there. Umbria recently, of course, you had the Under the Tuscan Sun movie. Then you had the My House in Umbria movie. So Americans have become more and more familiar with that. And then, as when we speak of foreign tourism, largely many Americans and also people from Northern Europe. But you know, the Tuscia, Latium, the area, the region where Rome is largely unknown outside of Rome, and that's a shame because there's really a lot here. I ride my motorcycle throughout northern Latium on these little country roads, and it's fascinating. You run into in the middle of nowhere, all of a sudden there's a ruin, something. I read not long ago that the Italian state has 10,000 architectural sites that are there waiting to be cleaned up, developed, but there's no budget. And it's not a question that the Italian budget isn't sufficient. The Italian budget contains a lot of money for restoration and repair, maintenance of historical architectures, historical artifacts. There's just so many of them in this country. They say that Italy contains 25% of the world's art. And so it's not surprising. In the middle of the country, there's an aqueduct, a 2,000-year-old aqueduct that nobody pays attention to. That's the kind of charm that you have here. They have it in Tuscany too, but Tuscan prices have gone up to the point where it's not as affordable as it used to be. The same with Umbria. In Latium, you have an undiscovered gem that is available at very reasonable cost, as Roy was telling us earlier, in the tens of thousands. Of course, that won't last forever. But right now, investors have a unique opportunity to discover a pristine culture that underlies all of the Italian culture in the heart of Italy, and that dates back to 600, 700 BC. We're talking about before the Trojan War. This is an extraordinary period of history.
So, Walt, before I ask Roy whether we want or not to have investment from somewhere else, what do you think about the agriculture side, olive, vineyard, and so forth? Should some America consider having a little gentleman farm and grow their own oil and so forth?
Well, I don't know whether typical American want to. I am. There's just a small 2-acre parcel that came available near me, and I'm negotiating for the purchase of it. It has 40 olive trees. Now, in the big scheme of things, 40 olive trees will do nothing, but it'll give me my own olive oil in prime Etruscan territory. So I hope to be the and the purchaser of that. But yes, I would definitely say, look, the more realistic thing to do for a foreign tourist is not to buy a property and then develop the oil or anything like that, is to actually own a property that they can have a vacation in, say 2 or 3 weeks a year, and then you do an Airbnb type thing for the rest of the year and actually make a profit on it. So you have a home in Italy that is reevaluating, that is appreciating in value, one hopes. But in the meantime, it's not a cash flow drag on you because it's making money for you. So you have a property that you can visit when you like, but that is also holding its own in terms of value.
Actually, I completely agree with you. Last night, I interviewed somebody named Cecile. She lives in a place called San Michele in Teverina. And look at this. This is her place. This is the castle. This is the backside. This is the place where they have breakfast. This is the pool. And this is an inside and so forth. And finally, this is the walk that they have outside the castle. And she told me she did precisely what you said. She bought it because she fell in love. She decided that it was a little bit costly, so she rents out when she's not here, and she's making some money to keep it as beautiful as you saw. So precisely the plan you have. So now it's Roy terms. Roy, you have been here the longest. You are part of us as at this point. Do we want Americans to come here?
Well, of course, and based on our last election, there might be a lot coming here soon. But I want to say before I go, Walt, 40 trees. We have 40 trees, and yesterday we finished the harvest. We got 60 liters of the best olive oil in the world, and of course we don't need 60 liters, so we sell it, and it pays for the cost. But 40 trees, you're going to get, and our trees are not huge; they're not these large ones.
So I think Roy,
you'll enjoy it.
Roy, you have to invite all of us for the first day of Tuscia in Fiori in May to your place, and we have to have bruschetta with your olive oil. Is that okay?
Absolutely, positively. Usually, you're too busy to do anything, but
that is true.
Of course, it's the best. It's the best oil. Everyone in Italy says their oil is the best. No, our oil is the best. Okay.
Very soon, even Theo will say the same.
My daughter came to help with the harvest because everybody in America's bucket list is helping to harvest the olives. You can make money just charging people to come here and harvest your olives.
Okay, one question for you, Theo. How do you find the people? Are they welcoming with you? Do they have problem with your English? Do they have problem communicating with you? What do you think?
They're at first they're a little bit distant, but once you get to know them, they're very kind. As I told you, we had a problem with the boiler and the heating system, and the plumber was here until 8:30 just to solve the problem, and he was very committed to solve the problem. He wasn't going home before it was done. So, and that is the kind of people we met here when we came here with our trailer for the horses. We didn't take the horses ourselves because it was a special transportation. But we have a trailer because we need to transport the horses here in Italy. But we took some stuff, some chairs and kind of that. So we came here, and the farmer who lives here down at the street, at the beginning of our road where we live up on the hill. He stopped with his tractor and he said, "Cavalli." He said, not now, but later. And so they're very, they're
kind
all
of
very
vested in
kind
you.
and yeah. So we're very pleased with that.
And Julio,
Yes.
Roy jokingly made. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Theo, I didn't mean to interrupt. Roy made joking reference to our elections, and but the fact is that as polarized as the United States has become, to an extent, Europe has as well, and they've especially followed this particular cycle. But I was just having dinner this evening with an American couple who has been to Proceno, my area, frequently, and is looking to purchase. And what I told them is true, and I'll repeat it here, is that whereas Italians and Europeans in general are suspicious of American foreign policy in general, Americans in themselves as individuals never have any problem here. We are seen as, kind-hearted, good people, if sometimes loud and boisterous and uncultured, but good, fundamentally good people. And if you just take the time to learn a few words in Italian and show that you respect the local culture, you will be welcomed with open arms. Now, if you show up as what they call the ugly American, and you expect everybody to speak English, and you expect this and you expect that, and you say you think you're special, you'll probably be treated less than in a welcoming manner. But the slightest attempt to integrate and to show that you're just a normal person. Most people love individual Americans, even though they may take exception with American foreign policy. So I don't think there's anything to worry about from that standpoint. You're not going to, even if somebody disagrees with your politics, they're not going to take it out on you personally. You're just a tourist, you're a good guy, you have your family, whatever. You want to sit down and make friends, have a glass of wine with the locals, you'll be welcomed with open arms.
Walt, tonight the time flew. So very quickly, let us know how, if anybody's interested, can contact you and you can help them out in helping, in buying something and so forth. Please make your pitch.
Thank you. I think last time you put up one of my business cards up there. I have an American phone number in Palm Beach County, an Italian phone number here for anybody who wants to reach me. Are you going to put up my card or not? Or
I'm looking for it. Sorry, I'm looking for it.
Next time I'll remind you. Have my card
ready.
Anyway,
yeah. Sorry.
Listen, I have a nice, easy to remember website. I was a fan of Breaking Bad, the movie series, the Netflix series. So my website is bettercallwalt.com. There you'll have all the information. My American number is there. Your loan application is there. Link to my website is there, so you can look at some mortgage calculators. You can answer some questions. And my number, of course, is there if you'd like to call me to get any information about where to go from here.
Walt, I apologize. I do not find it. So can you please tell me at least one telephone number so that I can type it?
561-430-8877 is my American number.
Too fast. 430
561-430-8877. It looks like you're typing it in and you're about to flash it on the screen, so I appreciate that.
Yes.
Next time I'm gonna be ready to flash it myself.
I apologize. I remember you sent me
you owe me a glass of wine now.
Yeah, no, I think I'm getting old. I don't know. The other night when we had the dinner together, Theo and myself, it was so freaking late, and I arrived home at 1:00, and I'm getting old. I don't know why. I cannot recoup easily. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, this is gonna cost you a glass of wine here.
I think a bottle is more appropriate. Okay, so before I let you guys go, can I have a quick goodbye from each and every one of you? So first, our guest, Theo. So a last thought you want to share with us?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. And it's nice to meet other people like this. And I would say if there's another opportunity, I would like to add in again if wanted, if needed. But it's very nice to meet you guys. So thank you.
So Roy, another a last goodbye for us, a last thought.
Well, I was going to say to Theo that I maintain the 2 horse corrals in the village, so he and his wife are welcome to come down, stay at our house, and bring their horses.
Oh, that's
Okay.
quite an invitation.
Can we exchange? How can we exchange?
Through our friend here, through the mentor, through.
I will
Okay.
do it. I will do it. I'm
Very
good with
good.
that. I'm good
Very
with
good.
that.
Very nice, Roy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Walt, I promised the bottle of red wine, but still, okay. So go for it.
There we go. There we go. Good job. Good job.
So,
I wanted
a
to
last
say,
thought,
we
Walt?
did go a little bit lengthy here. We did not mention the folklore things, the fascinating things. Last time we spoke about the sagre, the festivals that occur around here, especially in the fall. Whoop, are we offline?
You're good. You're good. Go for. You're good. You're good. Go for it, Walt. Don't worry.
Oh, I thought we were offline. Well, last time we spoke of the sagre, the festivals that we have around here in the autumn here. They kick up, and we had the porcino festival of the porcino mushrooms. In Bracciano, we now have the sagra of the chestnuts, and so these are all things where they highlight local production, and they draws big crowds of people who are interested in these kinds of things. So the folklore of the places we didn't discuss this time, but it's also something very much to be enjoyed in this part of Italy.
So I apologize, but tonight I was so excited to have Theo with us. I couldn't contain myself because he's case in point, right? It's precisely the type of situation we want to facilitate. So I was too happy, too excited. So to all of you guys, thank you very much. And I will make sure to exchange the information of each other. And see you guys the second Monday of next month. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Giulio.
Right.
Gentlemen.
Bye-bye. Regista, com'è andata oggi?
Bene, benissimo, come sempre. Ci vediamo alla prossima, Giulio.
Dalla Tuscia